Angelica! Angelica!
And the actors are Emily Gibson Moore as Lady Catherine and Nakia Snowdy as Elizabeth.
Sit over there, Miss Bennett, where I can see you plainly.
I am feeling far from frivolous, I can assure you, ma'am.
Then you know why I'm here. Has not your conscience told you?
My conscience.
Miss Bennett, I am not to be trifled with. I am celebrated for my frankness. Don't assume those innocent airs. I'm not a man. They will have no effect on me whatever. A report has reached me that you hope to be married to my nephew, Mr. Darcy. I would not insult him by asking about the truth of this. Besides, he has left Rosings, and I believe joined the Bingleys at Netherfield. I have come post haste from Rosings to let you know my exact sentiments.
What a long way to come for such a purpose, Lady Catherine. Would not a letter have been just as efficacious, especially when I know nothing of such a rumor?
Will you swear there's no foundation for it?
Oh no, I do not pretend to be as celebrated for frankness as your ladyship. So there are certain questions I may choose not to answer. This is one of them.
How dare you? I insist on it. Has my nephew made you an offer of marriage?
But your ladyship has already declared that to be impossible.
It certainly should be. But your arts may have entangled him into forgetting what he owes to his family.
Then surely I should be the last to admit it.
Miss Bennett, do you know who I am? I have not been accustomed. I am the nearest relative he has, and entitled to know his dearest concerns.
Then question him. You certainly are not entitled to know mine.
This marriage, to which you have the effrontery to aspire, will never take place. Never. Mr. Darcy is engaged to my daughter. Now, what have you to say?
Well, if this is true, why are you worrying? How can he make me an offer? Or does he have a case of bigamy in view? It is still a crime in England, you know.
Well, they were intended for each other since infancy. My sister, the Lady Anne, hoped it with her last breath. Didn't you hear me say at Rosings, before the gentleman came in after dinner, that I wish him to marry my daughter?
Certainly. You gave expression to that wish several times. But if there were no other objections to my marriage to Mr. Darcy, your wish would carry little weight.
Well then, if you persist, don't expect to be received by his family, or friends, or me. Your name will never be mentioned by any of us.
I must confess to your ladyship that this will not give me a moment's concern.
I am ashamed of you. Is this your gratitude for my hospitality?
Gratitude? But Lady Catherine, I regard hospitality as a mutual grace, and by no means consider myself an object for charity.
Understand, my girl, I came here determined. I am not used to submitting to any person's whims, nor brooking disappointments.
This is rather unfortunate. It is rather late in life for you to be receiving your first taste.
Be silent. The idea of you wanting to marry out of your own sphere.
Oh, I do not consider it so. Mr. Darcy is a gentleman. I am the daughter of one.
And pray, what was your mother? A lady? The daughter of a shopkeeper with a brother, an attorney? You see, I am not deceived by your airs and graces.
And you, Lady Catherine, the daughter of a peer. It is rather strange that questions of taste could be inspired by birth of gentleness of heart.
As if you could possibly know anything about such things. Answer me once and for all. Are you engaged to my nephew?
I must ask you to speak in a lower key. My sister is asleep out there. No, I am not engaged to anyone.
And will you promise me you never will be?
I will not.
I am shocked. Then I refuse to leave until you have given me that promise.
I hope your ladyship has a pleasant journey back to Rosemarys. Hill, her ladyship's coach, if you please.
Sing.
Okay, we'll set up this next scene. We're going Mia, who is the queen of the elves, and she and her husband Oberon, who is the king of the elves. It's like a family argument between the two of them about who slept with who and who's doing things.
These are the virtues of jealousy. And never since the middle summer spring met we on a hill, in a dell, forest, or a mead, by paved fountain or by rushy brook, or in the beach margins of the sea to dance our ringlets to the whistling wind. But with thy walls thou hast disturbed our sport. Therefore, the wind whistling to us in vain, as if in revenge hath sucked up from the sea contagious fogs, which falling in the land, having every pelted river made so proud that they have overborne their continents. The ox hath therefore stretched his yoke in vain. The plowman lost sweat, and the green corn runneth ere his youth attaineth a beard. The foes stand empty in the drowned fields, and the crows are fattened by myron flock. The 9 men's moist is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes of the wanton green for like a tread are undistinguishable. The human mortals want their winter cheer. No night now knows him or carol bless. Therefore the moon, the governess of floods, pearl in her anger, awashes the air that the rheumatic diseases abound. And thorough through this distemperature, we see the seasons alter. Hoary head frost falls fresh in the lap of the crimson rose. In our old hind's thin and icy crown, the chaplet, the odorous of the chaplets of the summer bud. is, as in mockery, set. The spring, the summer, the chilling autumn, angry winter, change their wanting liberties, and the maze walled by their increase. Now know not which is which. And these same progenities of evil, they come from our debate, from our dissension. We are the parents and the original.
Now we change the scene again. We move from the forest to the front lawn of the boarding house where Rosemary lives, and she is coming back from a day out with her beau, and his name is Howard, and the actors are Francis Hewitt and Michael Sears.
Here we are, honey. Right back where we started. You were awful nice to me tonight, Rosemary. You think Mrs. Owen suspects anything?
I don't care if she does.
Well, a businessman has to be careful of talking. After all, you are a school teacher. Well, it's time for me to be getting back to Cherryville. Gotta open the store in the morning. So, good night, Rosemary. Good night. I should say good morning.
Where you going, Howard?
Honey, I gotta get home.
You can't go off without me.
Honey, talk sense.
You can't go off and leave me. Not after tonight. That's sense.
Honey, be reasonable.
Take me.
What do people say?
To hell with what people say. What people say if I thumb my nose at them? What people say if I walked around and showed them my pink panties? What do I care what people say?
Honey, you are not being yourself tonight.
I'm more myself than I ever was. Take me with you, Howard. If you don't, I don't know what I'll do with myself. I mean it.
Now look, honey, I need you to go upstairs, get some sleep. We'll talk about all this on Saturday.
Maybe you won't be back on Saturday. Maybe you won't be back ever again.
Now, Rosemary, you know better than that.
Then what's the next thing in store? To be nice to the next man, then to the next. Till finally there's no one left to care whether I'm nice to him or not. Till I'm ready for the grave and don't have anyone to take me there.
Now, Rosemary.
You can't let that happen in my life.
Honey, I don't understand. When we first started going together, you were the best sport ever. Always good for a laugh.
I can't laugh anymore.
We'll talk about this Saturday.
Well, talk about it now.
Well, honey,
You said you were going to marry me, Howard. You said when I got back from my vacation, you'd be here waiting with the preacher.
honey, I had an awful busy summer. And
Where's the preacher, Howard? Where is he?
Rosemary, I'm 42 years old. A person forms a certain way of living, then one day it's too late to change.
I'm no spring chicken either. Maybe I'm a little older than you think I am. I form my ways too. But they can be changed. Oh God, they gotta be changed. It's no good living like this, in rented rooms, meeting a bunch of old maids every night for something. He ain't coming back home alone.
I know how it is, Rose. My life's no better than Rose's either.
Then why don't you do something about it?
I figure there's something bad about every person's life.
There's too much bad about mine. Each year I tell myself it's the last. Something will change. Then nothing ever does. Except I get a little crazy all the time.
Well,
A well's a hole in the ground, Howard.
Rosemary, I wasn't joking.
Then I'd like to know what else you call it. All this time you've just been leading me on.
Now, Rosemary, I haven't been leading you on at all.
I'd like to know what else you call it.
Well, can we talk about this Saturday? I have an awful busy week ahead of me, and Saturday.
You gotta marry me, Howard.
I can't marry you now.
You can be over here in the morning.
Sometimes you are so unreasonable.
You gotta marry me.
What do you do about your job?
Albert Jackson can take over for me till they get someone new from the agency.
Guess I'll have to get Fred Jenkins
Then
to...
get him.
Well,
I'll be waiting for you in the morning, Howard.
no. I'm not going to marry anybody that says, you got to marry me, Howard. I'm not. If a woman wants to marry me, the least she can do is say,
Please marry me, Howard.
well, you got to give me some time to think it over.
Oh, God, please marry me, Howard. Please, please,
Rosemary.
please.
Guys, look. Go upstairs. Come on. Go upstairs. Get some sleep. I'll call you in the morning.
I won't sleep a wink until you call, Howard. Good night.
I'll call you first thing.
Please call.
I'll call.
Please call.
I will, Rosemary.
Please call.
Honey, don't worry.
Good night, Howard.
Night,
Fiend.
Okay. Now, we make another magical transformation. And this time we move backwards in time again. And the actress portraying Portia is Beth Griffith.
The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven upon a place beneath. It is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis the mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throne monarch better than his crown. His scepter shows the force of temporal power, the attribute to awe and majesty wherein doth sit the dread and fear of kings. But mercy is above this sceptred sway. It is enthroned in the heart of kings. It is an attribute to God himself. And earthly power doth then show liketh God's, when mercy seasons justice. Therefore, Jew, though justice be thy plea, consider this, that in the course of justice, none of us shall see salvation. We do pray for mercy, and this same prayer doth teach us all to render the deeds of mercy. I have spoke thus much to mitigate the justice of thy plea, which if thou follow, the strict court of Venice must needs give sentence against the merchant there. See.
Okay. Finally, I made the switch this time. When you're ready, actors.
What keeps you so late? It's almost dark.
Now we're planting out to the fourth stage.
Oh, you're done then?
Aye, the farm is seated. Boys asleep?
They will be soon.
We're now for a fair summer.
I
Are you well today?
am. It is a rabbit.
Who is it? In Jonathan's trap?
No, she walked into the kitchen this afternoon. I found her sitting in the corner like she'd come to visit.
Well, that's a good sign walking in.
Pray God, it hurt my heart to strip her, poor rabbit.
It's well seasoned.
I took great care. She's tender.
Aye. I think we'll see green fields when it's warm as blood beneath the clouds.
That's swell.
If the crop has been out by George Jacobs, how would that be?
It would.
I mean to please you, Elizabeth.
I know, John.
Cider?
Oh,
Farms a continent when you go foot by foot dropping seeds in it.
It must be.
On Sunday, let you come with me and walk the farm together. I've never seen such a load of flowers on the earth. Massachusetts, it's a beauty in the spring.
It is.
I think you're sad again, aren't you?
You come so late. I thought you went to Salem this afternoon.
Why, I have no business in Salem.
You did speak of going earlier this week.
I thought better of it since.
Mary Warren's there today.
Why'd you let her? You heard me forbid her go to Salem anymore.
I couldn't stop her.
It is a fault, Elizabeth. You're the mistress here, not Mary Warren.
She frightened all of my strength away.
How may that mouse frighten you,
It
Elizabeth?
is no mouse no more. I forbid her go. She raises up her chin like the daughter of a prince and says to me, I must go to Salem, Goody Proctor. I'm an official of the court.
Court? What court?
It's a proper court they have now. They sent 4 judges out of Boston, waiting magistrates of the general court, and at the head sits the deputy governor of the province.
Why, she's mad.
I would to God she were. There'll be 14 people in the jail now, she says, and they'll be tried. And the governor has power to hang them too, she says.
Oh, they never hang.
The deputy governor promised hanging if they'll not confess, John. The town's gone wild. I think Mary Warren. Speak of Abigail as though she were a saint. To hear her, she brings the other girls into the court, and where she walks, the crowd will part like the sea for Israel. And folks are brought before them. And if Abigail scream and howl and fall to the floor, that person's clapped in the jail for bewitching her.
Oh, it is a black mischief.
I think you must go to Salem, John. I think so. You must tell them it's a fraud.
Aye, it is, surely.
Let you go to Ezekiel Cheever. He knows you well, and tell him what she said to you last week in her uncle's house. She said it had naught to do with witchcraft. Did she not?
She did.
God forbid you keep this from the court, John. I think they must be told.
They must. It is a wonder they do believe her.
I would go to Salem now, John. Let you go tonight.
I'll think on it.
You cannot keep it, John.
I know I cannot keep it. I said I will think on it.
Good. Let you think on it.
I'm only wondering how I may prove what she told me, Elizabeth. If the girl's a saint now, I think it's not so easy to prove she's fraud. And the town gone so thin. She told it to me in a room alone. I have no proof for it.
You were alone with her?
For a moment alone,
Why, then it's not as you told me.
For a moment alone, I say the others come in soon after.
Do as you wish, then.
Woman, I'll not have your suspicion.
I have no suspicion.
I'll not have
Then
it.
let you not earn it.
You doubt me yet?
John, if it were not to Abigail that you would go to hurt, would you falter now? I think not.
Now look,
I see what I see,
you
John.
will not judge me more, Elizabeth. I have reason to think before I charge fraud on Abigail, and I will think on it. Let you look to your own improvement before you go to judge your husband anymore. I have forgot Abigail.
And I.
Spare me, you forget nothing and forgive nothing. Learn charity, woman. I have gone tiptoe in this house 7 months since she is gone, and I have now moved from there to there without I think to please you. And still, the everlasting feudal marches round your heart. I cannot speak, but I am doubted every moment just for lies, as though I come into a court when I come into this house.
John, you're not open with me. You said you saw her with a crowd. Now you're saying that...
Oh, please, modesty, no more, Elizabeth.
John, I am only...
No more! I should have roared you down when you first told me your suspicion. But like a Christian, I wilted and confessed. Some dream I had must have mistaken you for God that day, but you're not. You're not. Let you remember, let you look sometimes for the goodness in me and judge me not.
I do not judge you. The magistrate sits in your heart. That judges you. I never thought you but a good man, John. Only somewhat bewildered.
Oh, Elizabeth, your justice would freeze beer. Scene